I said it before and I will say it again. Audio is the most important part of your stream. Having the ability to communicate with your audience with a clear, crystal ability for them to hear what you're saying and how you're saying it is crucial for broadcasting nowadays. But what if I told you that really clean audio doesn't have to come at such a huge cost anymore? Well, that's where the WaveXLR comes in. This bad boy coming in at 160 bucks is supposed to be a phenomenally clear, amazing XLR input into your computer. And wait for it, you get the ability to control your audio chain. If you don't know what I mean, just imagine whenever your teammates are screaming in your ear in Discord, but you have the ability to turn it down for yourself. So that way, whenever your stream is saying, we can't hear your teammates, turn them up, you don't have to worry about puncturing your ears. Yeah, that's right. You're welcome. So what do you actually get inside the box? Well, it comes with the actual unit, the WaveXLR, and it comes with the cable and then some manuals that probably no one ever reads. But I appreciate the fact that they're there. So now that we just did that unboxing portion super fast, let's go ahead and hook it up to the PC and see what it sounds like. And yes, we'll be comparing this with my GoXLR. That is actually what I use on a day-to-day basis. So I'm looking to see if this thing can actually save you some money and sound just as good. Let's try it out. All right, what's going on? We are actually at the desk setup right now. And yes, we are currently using the WaveXLR. This is what it sounds like with the Shure SM7B. What do you think? Take a moment, go in the comment section below. Does it sound good? Does it sound bad? Do you like it? Who knows? I'll give you a second. All right, great. Let's get back to the review. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this device actually physically has on it. So you actually have one little middle dial right there. This actually controls the volume depending on what you're selected. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner over here, you actually have the few different options that you can select. So currently we are on the mic. So if I move this up and down, it's gonna go ahead and actually adjust the gain of the volume of the microphone. So I can increase it and then I can also decrease it. You might hear some pops that only happens when you're adjusting the volume. I've seen it in reviews. I wouldn't be too worried about it. All right, so there we go. So I think this is back down to about 39. And then next, if you click in on it, you can actually control the headphone volume. So what you're actually hearing in the headphones and stuff like that. So it'll actually adjust that volume for you, which is actually really nice. I like having that feature to it. And then you can actually have the mix. Is it going to be all PC or is it going to be also like monitoring and stuff like that? That actually introduced dual monitoring, so don't do that. But there you go. Now, if you notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a 48-volt phantom option as well. You can actually hold this button in and it will turn it on. And then you can also click it in to hold it and it will actually turn it off. So let's go ahead and take a look at the software really quick, which by the way, to download the software, you just go right to their website and you go over to downloads in the top right-hand corner. Then you go ahead and select the product that you're looking to use, WaveXLR, and then you just hit download. It's gonna be the exact same software. So if you guys have the Wave 1 or Wave 3, you're actually kind of ahead of the game. You already have the software for it. So that's actually pretty awesome to note. Now, currently right here, we actually have two different things going on. So we have our, this is actually the microphone. I don't know why it says that. It's just because I have the GoXLR as well too, so we'll just ignore that for now. But you can actually do the sample rate right here and change the sample rate on it if you'd like. You see how much gain you're using as well. I think 39 sounded pretty good. It's loud, but not too loud. You can also change the output volume right there as well. We can introduce a low cut filter as well to get rid of some rumbles and stuff like that. So in case you're hearing like a hissing or a rumble, that will actually help get rid of some of that. You can also do the clip guard, which what this does is if I go, hey, then it shouldn't be too loud. You should hear a little bit of it, but you actually don't hear it clipping. Now, if I take it off, hey, as you saw on the bar, so I'm going to turn that back on. On the bar and the below, you actually saw it go into red, which means that the audio was getting ready to clip and actually sound really awful. So in case you get excited or you scream on stream or anything like that, highly recommend using clip guard. It actually works really, really well. And then the wave gain lock. Actually, what this does is whenever you are actually in different applications, it will not allow the application to adjust the gain on the microphone, which I think is pretty awesome. So we'll go ahead and select that. And then down here, we should have different colors. So now if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner at the actual unit, we can change the color. Let's go to a pink. We'll do a pink. So now the LEDs on there are actually pink. And then you can also change the mute color. So if I want to go ahead and mute my microphone, which I'll do just right on the fly, I'm going to change it to blue and tap it one more time to unmute it as well. So pretty cool stuff. But yeah, so you can actually change that, which actually gives you a lot of versatility over it. Personally, I think it sounds pretty damn good. Now, one of the biggest things you can do with this is if you notice there's two different sliders here, right? So let's go ahead and get some music playing from Epidemic Sounds. All right, not too bad. Okay, so now we have some music going, right? So let's say if I'm like, you know what, this sounds pretty good for me, but I want to go ahead and increase the audio for the broadcast or the stream. I can go ahead and actually jump this side up, and I'm not hearing I'm not hearing the increase in volume that you guys are. So you guys should be able to hear it increase and decrease. You guys in theory right now shouldn't hear any music whatsoever, but I can still hear it. Now let's say if I have it a little bit louder for you guys and we like it that way, I can then select this up here to lock it. Now it is increasing for me, but it's still a little bit louder for you guys. Now this is really cool because, all right, so let's go ahead and say that you guys actually have a teammate that you're actually talking to in Discord. And for you, their sound really loud, but for your stream, it doesn't sound that loud. You can actually independently adjust those, which is amazing. That's what I actually love about this Wavelink software, is that it actually adds in so much to it, which is phenomenal. So above and beyond that, that is pretty much the WaveXLR in a nutshell. I think it sounds pretty good from what I'm hearing. I haven't recorded or listened back to this just yet. Before I do my head-on talking portion, I'll go ahead and take a listen to it and I'll let you know what I think. Now, another cool thing that they did add is, because if you notice, there is nothing in here to change individual hertz and stuff like that, to give yourself a compressor or anything like that. So we're going to jump over to the GoXLR settings so you actually know what I'm talking about. So in the GoXLR, you can go to the microphone and you have this equalizer here. You have a compressor. You also have a de-esser down here that I'm blocking, but you have different options to go ahead and tune your microphone to the sound that you want it to sound like. Now, they did introduce something to WaveXLR, which actually gives you that capability called VSTs. I'm not going to go too far into it. So if you click on this cog to the top right-hand corner, which is open preference, then you can go ahead and go to the audio effects. And here you can actually scan and you can actually download different plugins. So I know Reaper is probably one of the most popular ones that you can actually get, but basically what it is, it's a plugin that gives you the ability to adjust the audio sound. So that means you're, if you want more of a bass heavy presence, if you want to have a compressor, de-esser, those kind of things too, it actually gives you the ability to add those in with software without having to use external software, or like without having to use like a different program, right? It's all built into this one program and allows you to adjust it, which I think is pretty awesome. So I actually might do a different video on this, but between the WaveXLR and having a Stream Deck, you might be able to pretty much replace a GoXLR and save some money while doing it. So pretty awesome thing that you have here. You can actually add those in. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the GoXLR really quick so I can give you guys a test and kind of like what it sounds like with my GoXLR with EQ and then without EQ, so you guys get an idea of what it sounds like with the differences with the WaveXLR. So I will be right back. So currently this is my microphone settings with EQ, and currently this is my microphone settings without EQ. Tell the difference. How much does it sound different? All right, so that's pretty much it. So now we're gonna go ahead and go back over to the head-on talking portion and let's see what we found, if we like this or not. All right, well, that was one heck of a demo. So I got some time to listen to the videos that we had recorded, or the audio that I got to record. And I thought it actually sounded really good. Without any EQ, it sounded very clear, it sounded clean. I really liked it a lot, actually. So I'm gonna go through a couple pros and cons of the actual unit myself, and then we'll go from there. So for the first pro I actually have on here is that this thing is loud enough to actually power the SM7B. It's not easy to do that considering it's a gain hungry mic. So no matter what mic you buy for streaming, you're gonna be good as far as power goes. You won't have to worry about that. Secondly, the clip guard feature, I really enjoyed that because I feel like they made it a lot easier for streamers to make sure they're not clipping or their audio is not getting too loud when they're streaming. Again, the easier it gets for us because there's just less to learn, the better. Third, I really actually liked the software. I thought the software was beautifully done. I thought it was really easy to use, and I thought it actually had a great interface, and I love how it's just an all-in-one system. Also, can I just mention again how much I love the fact that you can change what your stream hears versus what you hear. That to me is just literally a game changer, and I wish there was more software that actually enabled that. Finally, they added VSTs, which is awesome, so that way you can get some mixing on there, which is fantastic. So if you do want to be able to control if you have more of a bass kind of presence, or if you want to boost your highs, you can actually go and do that within that software, the VSTs, which I think is great. And also too, not to mention, last thing, it's 160 bucks. It's not bad for a unit like this that can power an SM7B. A lot of people, they end up getting something like a Focusrite or something like that, and then they end up having to get a cloud lifter, which is something to give it clean boost or clean boost in gain. And that right there is well over a couple $100. This is a system that is $160, which is perfect for streamers. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cons on this bad boy. There are limited outputs. So if you do stream a lot of like audio and stuff like that, as far as like guitars and things like that, there's no other jacks other than the XLR input, the headphone monitor out, and then the actual USB on it. That's it. So if you want to plug in anything else or a secondary microphone, you don't have the ability to do that. Another thing that I noticed is that I wish that the user interface was a little bit easier to use for people. So for instance, whenever you're adjusting the actual volume for the gain, that's the only time you can see the actual gain amount. So if you want to actually be able to see what your gain is at whenever you look at it, so if your friend's like, hey, what's your gain at? You don't have to worry about moving the slider. You can just look at it. Not a huge deal, but I feel like there are little adjustments they can make as far as quality of life down the road. So lastly, whenever it comes to the VSTs, they're not just easy click and install. So if you guys have an actual Stream Deck, you notice that they actually added a new ability to just install plugins via their software, which makes it super easy and honestly very easy for the user end experience. I wish they would have done the same thing with VSTs. I'm sure that down the road they'll be able to do that and add that on. I don't think it's a game changer or a deal breaker by any means, but I feel like it'd be a lot easier because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like you're probably gonna have to look up a video on how to do this. I know that other people have already made a video on how to do this. I might actually make one myself, but I know that people have made a video on how to actually install the VSTs properly. I just wish it was more of a click and install. One last thing I do want to add on is I love the fact that you can just mute this thing with a tap on top. That is actually fantastic, and you can actually see that as well. Another thing that I thought was actually really neat about it is you can actually change these colors instead of just like red and blue or red and green. So in case you are colorblind, you have the ability to change it to whatever color you want. But that pretty much wraps it up. So would I recommend this product? Absolutely. If you are a streamer and you don't actually stream music instruments and things like that, I think this thing is phenomenal. For $160, you really can't go wrong with this interface. Plus the software is literally just mind-blowing how awesome and easy it is to use. I really loved it a lot. I think this is going to be a fantastic piece for getting into. And again, I'm going to try and do an experiment to see if between this and a Stream Deck, I could actually replace a whole GoXLR. So we'll see if that happens. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section down below. I would appreciate if you guys give me a thumbs up and a like. If you guys like this kind of content, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you guys have questions about any of my videos I've done, feel free to come over to Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday night, 8 p.m. EST currently. I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day and go out there and stream and kick butt. All right. See ya.